Now, I have to ask this. How was your fight against Dominick Cruz back a few years ago? I think that was your last actual loss on your record was against Cruz at WC 38. How do you feel? Do you think, as a fighter, you've improved immensely since that fight?
Oh, yeah. I'm a completely different person, not just as a fighter, but as a person. I'm just different in a lot of ways, in a lot of better ways. You know, as a fighter, I've evolved full 360 degrees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, it definitely makes you stand out as a fighter. I mean, you don't want to be a guy named Uncle Creepy and then just look completely boring. I mean, if you're going to have a nickname like that, you might as well get noticed.
Yeah, and I try my hardest not to look like a fighter. Most fighters, at least the way they dress is horrible. I used to work for a fashion company, so I'm kind of weird like that. But I don't want to say it's most fighters, but a lot of fans, a lot of people, like just the whole, I wear these spikier clothes because I'm a douchebag, and I'm not that guy. I don't look tough. But yeah, I mean, you know how many times I've almost been beaten up by a professional fighter? It's like, geez, okay, yeah, you're going to beat me up. Cool, man. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need a tattoo to prove how tough you are. If you're getting there in the cage and getting in a fight with a guy for anywhere from 5 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's usually one of my smart-ass friends or my wife. It's like, oh, why don't you fucking Google him?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, let's go.
Yeah, anybody who wants to mess with Ian McCall is going to find out very quick that just because you're a flyweight doesn't mean you can't take somebody down and kick their butt.
I'm the nice guy. I always want to buy people a beer and just like, I don't know. I get paid to beat people up. I don't want to beat some poor schmuck up in the street, you know?
Right, yeah, you're not a street brawler. You're not looking to start bar fights. It's just people thinking they can punk you and then you having to do what you have to do to protect yourself, which is pretty much what happens in most fights in my experience. Is one guy is trying not to start the fight and the other guy is way too drunk and absolutely wants to fight. It's usually stupid shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now I got to ask you about Tai Chi Palace, because your last fight for them, you actually won their flyweight championship, but obviously you're in UFC now. So what happened with that title? Did you vacate it? Are you still their champion? What's the deal right now?
Oh, I vacated it, yeah. I'm sure they'll have a new champion soon. I mean, the Tai Chi Palace is an awesome organization. I think it's definitely, if not it's one of the best regional shows in the country. Once I won the title, I was actually supposed to fight again for him because I had one more fight on my contract. And then UFC came calling, and they said, "No, congratulations, here you go. You can fight for them."
Yeah, and you're obviously not going to turn it down when Zupa comes calling. That's a bigger payday and more exposure and everything that goes along with it as a result.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, do you think, obviously at that point in your career, you were already 11-2, and you already fought some of the biggest names in the sport, like Dominick Cruz, but did that moment overwhelm you at all, or did you just feel like, this is my time, this is what I prepared for, I'm ready for this?
I was just ready. I was ready and happy to be there. I think, obviously, one of the highest points in my life was the end of that third round. I was punching him in the face, or in the back of the, side of the face, I guess. Getting the crowd into it. That really was, besides the birth of my daughter, and the marriage to my wife. That was probably the coolest moment I've ever been in.
Yeah, marriage and having a kid are number one and number two in anybody's book. And I'm still working on the second one. I got the first one down 10 years ago in June, so I'm pretty happy about that myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
10 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, and Peter got married last year, and I was actually supposed to be at his wedding in Ottawa, but travel issues, I wasn't able to make it. But he's now a happily married man as well.
Yeah. She doesn't. She's at the gym with me almost every day. So she sees me getting punched in the face all the time. But it's between my wife. It's between like Twilight and then kid movies. So.
Twilight. Oh man, I'm not on either one of those teams. I'm not a Taylor Lautner fan. In fact, I actually find him to be creepier than Uncle Creepy.
I just like I said, I'm just here. I'm just along for the ride. I watch whatever my girls are watching.